Hey guys, and welcome back to another video and another episode of 5 Things Learned after another Pep Guardiola and Manchester City masterclass. 4 more goals yesterday in a 4-0 victory over Southampton, and it was wonderful, and there was loads of talking points, and so many of you guys, by the way, sent me wonderful suggestions over on Twitter. Some really made me smile because some of you guys have learned into my terrible puns, leaned into them, and I love that. I absolutely love it. I can't go with all of them, unfortunately, but I picked a few to talk about today, so thank you very much for the suggestions. You're all absolutely appreciated. And of course, is OneFootball. Please head over to OneFootball right now if you want to get the best football app on the market and help support little old Stephen here and my channel. Click that link in the description below. It'll take you straight to download the app for the big price of absolutely nothing, where you can get all your Manchester City news and look at all those wonderful stats. You can purr at Erling Haaland's goal record, or look at Kevin De Bruyne's assist record, or look at any potential breaking news ahead of the transfer window in January, of course, and just follow the general game of football and keep up to date with all the breaking news from across the world of football. It's good to have that knowledge. So head over to OneFootball by clicking that link in the description. Help support my channel and help support your football knowledge. So we're going to start, of course, with Cole Palmer. After I've said, please do hit the subscribe button and please do give this video a like. Let's get 65k, be appreciated. But yep, I've started with Cole season. I mean, look, there are a couple of people that I feel like I should be talking about in this video that I'm not going to because I dedicated an entire video to him yesterday. I'm going to give you a spoiler right now. Cancelo's not in this video. We know he's brilliant. We know he's wonderful. But watch the match reaction for that. But I want to talk about Cole Palmer because, of course, I've got a bit of an interest in the youth development side of things. I just find it fascinating. And I find that not many things more exciting than watching a young player really start to show what they're capable of. And we've seen over the past couple of performances just what Cole Palmer can do. And if there's any doubt whatsoever, it really is Cole Palmer season. He's absolutely going to make his breakthrough and become a household name, at least in the Premier League this season, in my personal opinion. Maybe he won't be a superstar this year, but everyone's going to know, like, oh, City have got this guy coming through, another one. There's going to be that. There's going to be that resignation that he doesn't stop at Phil Foden. There is the next guy coming through. In my opinion, that is Cole Palmer. His cameo yesterday was full of life, full of guile, full of skill, full of elegance, and full of creativity. And he could have scored as well. And I know some people said he needs to learn how to pass the ball and all this kind of stuff. Come on, man, he's a kid. You're right for what it's worth, but I think it's pretty obvious that him being a tiny bit greedy when he went for a goal was because he's not scored his first Premier League goal yet. And like most great goal scorers, and he is a great goal scorer, by the way. He scores plenty of goals. That is the kind of thing that plagues them and follows him around. So he wants to get that monkey off his back, so to speak. And as soon as he does that, you know, I'm sure he'll be a lot more aware. It's just youthful naivety. But you can't deny that quality that he's got. Some of his touches and some of his little kind of spins away from his fullback were just beautiful, man. It was like watching a young Riyad Mahrez with a little bit more pace and potentially even more flair than anyone else in our team. That guy is absolutely blessed with flair, and he's the kind of player that you love to watch as a football fan. Like, we all love watching dribblers. We just do. People who can make you purr when they put a defender on their arse or whatever and go this way and that way, then beat a player and score a wonder goal. That is what Cole Palmer absolutely dines off of, and I love watching it, man. And it makes you think just how good could he be. Cole Palmer, I think, could be in for a start against Copenhagen, and I would love to see it. And it makes you wonder, you know, like, who else has that versatility? Who else can play in multiple positions? Well, Akanji can. That's the next topic. And who can play it there? Akanji, man. Never mind, I'll stop it. I'll leave it there. But Akanji can, man. Akanji can do anything. I thought it was really telling that when we, got back to the Premier League, Akanji came immediately back into the team. And I think it's very obvious that Pep Guardiola loves this man. Akanji is a fantastic footballer with loads of ability, and he's very quickly earned the trust of Pep Guardiola. Yesterday, playing in a slightly different role to what he's been asked to do previously. It was more like a back three at times, where, of course, Cancelo played as a wide left winger, not just a fullback. He was out there as a winger, basically. Which led to Man City often lining up with a back three, and Akanji was the one out on the right hand side of that back three. Though there were occasions where he did operate as a more orthodox right back. He wasn't a natural there, but you can see that his pace and his strength and his confidence on the ball lended him to that role pretty well. I don't think it'll be his long-term position, but I think it's pretty obvious that Akanji has the smarts to his game to do a variety of roles, and Guardiola's going to absolutely love him. Like he loves this next guy, Bernardo Silva. I just put Silva's goal because I think Bernardo showed yesterday that despite all the noise around him, and despite all the noise around people like Erling Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden, Akanji, whatever, Cole Palmer, The beating heart of this team still remains to be Bernardo Silva. He is one of the smartest footballers in world football. His understanding of where to be and when to use the ball and when to keep the ball and when to press and when to cover and when to drop deep. It's just unrivaled in the Premier League, in my personal opinion. He's as smart as the likes of Modric and so on. He's as good at that level, in my personal opinion, too. He's an absolute world-class midfielder. Possibly the heartbeat of this side. I mean, Bernardo Silva is not only just great going forward, but he enables everyone else to do their jobs. He is the glue. He's also the catalyst at the same time. He's an incredibly intelligent, necessary player, the fuel of this team, the brains of this team, the heartbeat of this team, and hopefully someone who will spend a lot more than just another few months at Manchester City. The fact that, he's this good despite his very obvious public desire to move to another country, not because he doesn't care about City, just because he wants to live somewhere a little bit sunnier, well, I think it shows that he really is a credit to himself as a footballer and a credit to, the game. Genuinely, Bernardo Silva, a wonderful player, and I hope we find a way to keep him at City longer, because Silva, he is gold. He's absolute gold. We can't really get through this video without talking about Phil Foden. The man is absolutely flying at the moment. I think he got an awful lot of criticism at the start of the season, despite not having a pre-season with the first team, by the way, and despite it being really early, and despite him winning 2 back-to-back Young Player of the Year awards. Despite everything he'd done, people were lining up to criticise Phil Foden, but that tells you everything you need to know about football in general. People can't wait to criticise a player who's doing well. But Phil right now is absolutely flying. I think he's got 5 goals in his last 3 games, of course a hat-trick against United, and yesterday another beautiful goal, a beautifully weighted finish as well. There's something about Phil Foden when he scored a goal or 2 that it just elevates his game. Right now he's flying through games with a desire and a pace and a confidence. He's so much more instinctive when he scored a few goals, when he feels like he's affecting a game. And I was actually on the City show yesterday with the City Matchday live show with Kel and Michael Brown, of course, ex-Manchester City midfielder, and he said, he wasn't being controversial, but he said he sort of wished, not that he wished it, but he said he wouldn't have minded the idea of Erling Haaland not grabbing a hat-trick last weekend against United, just so Foden could get the credit that his game deserved, because obviously Haaland took a little bit of the limelight away from Foden, and I get it, and I understood it. I think Phil is such a confidence player that when he gets those good moments and he can revel in the spotlight, he comes alive. Guardiola's talked quite a bit before about how Phil Foden is the kind of guy who does revel in the spotlight, he does revel in the big games, and he takes that added responsibility. So I think anything that we get, any credit that he gets is good for him because he deserves it. And Phil right now, he's flying. He really is. He looks confident. He's confident in front of goal. He's running at people again. He looks sharp, snappy. His touch and technique, of course, is always perfect. But he's really enjoying this link-up play with, obviously, Erling and KDB and so on. And I love to see it. I really do. And finally, obviously, we can't really go video without talking about Erling's orbit, and not because he's an extraterrestrial from another planet and he's got his own gravitational pull. No, it's because he genuinely does have players orbiting around him. Now, I think it was probably fair to say that only 1 goal yesterday felt like a drop-off by his standards. It isn't. We're not going to be unfair, harsh on him. It's unfair to say he's going to go hat-trick every game. It's not a fair standard. But I think the thing that I noticed yesterday was, look at the goals again. Look what Erling does, to the rest of the team. He is so big, so charismatic, and so brilliant that this guy has them all there, man. They're there, right in the palm of his hands. Erling's orbit is real, man. Players are absolutely drawn to him. He is magnetic. And when you've got that much presence, and you've terrified the Premier League that much, and defenders from across the world, they pay extra attention to you. And the result of that, the net result of what happens there is, look at Phil Foden's goal, look at Riyad Mahrez's goal. Players are nowhere near Mahrez or Foden because they're all drawn and looking at Erling Haaland. That is the benefit that you get from having a guy this good, is that people aren't paying attention to Erling when they should be. They should be paying attention, aren't paying attention to Foden and Mahrez when they should be. But that is the benefit. Erling doesn't have to have his best game and score 3 goals to be involved in 3 goals. That's the crazy thing about it. His mere presence is creating problems and fear for the opposition. And you can see the impact he has with his movement and his ability to drag defenders, sometimes physically as well, out of the game. It's absolutely essential, and it frees up space for the likes of Foden and Mahrez to get on the score sheet, and that to me is everything. Even Cancelo, man, you could see that the defenders were so occupied with Erling that they didn't think to actually do their defensive jobs. It's great to see, and of course, it's only going to get more and more prevalent as the game goes on. Some of the people that replied to me, by the way, that things that I didn't cover Cancelo culture. Thank you for some people suggested talking about, Kevin De Bruyne. Rico, of course, Rico Lewis was suggested. I didn't get onto him. And City feeling inevitable at the moment. Yeah, it's true that City have improved a lot. But thank you for the suggestions, everyone. I do massively appreciate it. These are 5 things that I took from the game, though, that I thought were worthy of talking about. Do let me know down in the comments what you enjoyed from the game, of course. I do always read all the comments, even if I don't get to reply to them. I do appreciate it. And I do appreciate all the likes on the video. It does help the channel grow, so thank you very, very much. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you to all for being beautiful. And I'll catch you tomorrow for another video in a bit.